Today we're going to do 1 hour of Magic the Gathering flavor fails. All right, we know how much they fail with the archers. Some archers have reach, some archers don't. What they give reach in this game is incredibly inconsistent. But guess what? We got user over here, David Sherlock, says, found it kind of dumb that the Space Marines and the Guardsmen in 40k set didn't have reach with their guns when the elves have it with their bows. And true story, we've got, there was tons of these cards, like Gearson, Starn, Kellermorph, with these blasters in hand. You would think that they would have an advantage over a bow and arrow when it came to aerial creatures, with birds coming at you and stuff. But apparently, no, that you don't have reach with this. If you have a bow and arrow, yes, you have reach. You can defend yourself versus a flying creature. But if you have literally rifles and blasters, no, it's worthless. These things are just total crap. Technically, this needs skill, so maybe they're just maybe. But how hard is it to just keep shooting like crazy on the screen? You know, even if you play Duck Hunt and you just blast like crazy, and you still have a better shot than throwing one arrow. The reloading on arrows is incredibly slow. All right, moving on. We got Tommy. Whoa, spitting some truth here. Path to Exile and Swords to Plowshares should be switched in names. All right, so we have, let's look at Swords to Plowshares for a second. The whole point of Swords to Plowshares is we need the original Swords to Plowshares. The OG! We have so many pages of Swords to Plowshares. All right, here we go. It's a soldier that went from the battlefield to becoming a farmer. Tending the fields, making that bread, literally. So, what does that have to do with Path to Exile? Well, Path to Exile has something to do with land. You know, exile target creature, its controller may search their library for a basic land card, put that card onto the battlefield tapped. This should be Swords to Plowshares. This should represent the farmer going to their land and then growing stuff. Whereas it's Path to Exile should be the one where you're just gone. Goodbye, sayonara, the creature is gone. You don't get any land for that. That doesn't have anything to do with land. Swords to Plowshares has to do with a farmer. This should be the one that brings the land onto the battlefield. This should be the card that just exiles the creature for forever. All right, moving on. What else do we have? So Erlen says, hard to shoot high-flying things with a pistol, I guess. Well, do you think, the bow and arrow is going to do any better? If something is, in the clouds, you really think that this has the reach? I don't think an arrow has the reach that a gun does. In my opinion. I mean, do you know what? It's magic. It's a magical bow. It's a magical arrow. Maybe it can go to outer space for all I know. Toilet Duck says, the only way that makes sense is if they aim like Imperial Storm... The Imperial Stormtroopers. Very poor in training. They just train to multiply themselves. Bulky, Mog Squad, Goblin Squad with that effect. What is... Okay, Mog Squad. Goblin Squad. I don't have Goblin... Is it this one? Goblin Assault Team? I don't see it. Okay, hold on. Mog Squad, Goblin Squad. I only have a Mog Squad. Goblin Squad with that effect. So Mog Squad gets -1/-1 for each other creature in play. I don't get this one. Because I don't think we have the correct name for the other one. Okay, Lord says Flavor Fail. Avenomancer. You have an explanation why? When Avenomancer comes into play, sacrifice unless you return 3 basic lands you control to their owner's hand. Return Avenomancer to its owner's hand. Destroy target creature. It can't be regenerated. That creature's controller puts a 0/1 green sheep creature token into the play. I don't get it. I don't get it. If you're gonna give me one of these, you gotta explain yourself. No music. Oh God, that's the greatest of all the flavor fails. Okay, we got the music. The music is back. It didn't go away for me. Abe, thanks so much for the super chat. Gandalf the Grey is blue/red. I know. They did that on purpose. Oops. Gandalf the Grey. But you know what? There is no color. There is no red or blue. Sorry, there is no gray color. I guess we do have sort of a gray color. Choose colorless. What, are you going to turn Gandalf into an artifact? We have Cyborg Gandalf. No, he's going to be blue and red. You know what? I guess it's just a name. It's just the name. Okay, Islarf. I find it odd Eternal Skylord doesn't have flying with both the name and the ability. Ah, yes. You would think that a Skylord would know how to fly. How do you call yourself a Skylord? A blue for generic 3/3 zombie wizard. I guess it's a zombie. Why would zombies be flying around here? Oh, by the way, you deserve a super chat, Abe. Don't know if I gave it to you or not. Okay, when Eternal Skylord enters the battlefield, amass 2. Zombie tokens you control have flying. So it gives flying, but it doesn't give itself flying. That is so weird. And pretty unusual in my opinion. Okay, Bulky is trying to explain themselves. It's odd because normally the more goblins, the stronger they get, but with that card it gets weaker. Ah, okay. The Mog Squad actually gets smaller for each other goblin in play. Yeah. They eat their own. That's what they do. The goblins, they're pretty... Oh, if they're not cannibalistic, they're throwing each other through like slingshots across the world. Anyway, yeah, Eternal Skyward, absolute flavor fail. Just Lord of the Sky can't even give themselves flying unless they have another Eternal Skylord to give them each other flying. Oh, gray is just Orzhov. That's right. They could have done that. That's totally true. I think they meant Saruman. The white is blue. Oh, we did that one last time. Those are too easy to pick on the colors. Okay, Vitor, Brimstone Trebuchet, being a wall instead of destroying them. Brimstone. Is this card real? This is not a real card. Okay, how about Trebuchet? You gotta give me... Oh, Brimstone. Being a wall instead of destroying them. Okay, red 2 generic for a 1/3 wall. Defender with reach. Tap a Brimstone Trebuchet, deals 1 damage to each opponent. Whenever a knight enters the battlefield under your control, untap Brimstone Trebuchet. I don't know what a Trebuchet is. Being a wall instead of destroying them. Oh! Oh, it's like a slingshot. That is weird. So it's a wall, but it's not really a wall because it's like a slingshot. It deals damage whenever a knight enters the battlefield. It really should be thrown at the player equal to its power or something. Trebuchet? Okay, whatever. Okay. I don't know how to pronounce these words. Trebuchet. The Brimstone Trebuchet. Okay, Trebuchet is some sort of French throwing cannon. Yeah, I agree. This card makes absolutely no sense. It should just be like an artifact that slings creatures. You basically sacrifice a creature, deal damage equal to its power to target, like to some sort of target. This card does nothing what the text box does. Huge flavor fail. Massive flavor fail. Yeah, catapult, but different. Were used to destroy walls. So it has become the very thing that it was meant to destroy, which is even more bizarre. So it should actually like sacrifice a creature, destroy target wall. Instead, it's a wall itself. So stupid. Okay, Thieving Otter. Such a thing exists. Thieving Otter. A fail when you see the other 2 otters in Magic. There's other otters. Okay, we got a blue 2 generic 2/2. Whenever Thieving Otter deals damage to an opponent, draw a card. What are the other otters in Magic? You're gonna make me look up otters? Okay, let's look up all the otter. I hope there's not many otters. Okay, there's 2 other otters. One is Lutri, which doubles spells and has flash. The other one is the Eon Frolicker. Blue 2 generic for a 5/5 elemental. There's not many otters in this game. Enters the battlefield if you cast it, target opponent takes an extra turn after this one. Oh, so you're saying like it has nothing to do with spells. So the other ones had to sort of do with spells. This one is just steal stuff. To be honest, they... This is utterly ridiculous. They haven't really developed the creature type very much. It's just like a weird generic random blue card. Okay, Triox, or Trio, 64. Mobile Fortress. Was too early to become a vehicle. Oh. Wow, today, nobody's spelling any of the cards right. Mobile Fort. Hey, 4 mana for a 0/6 artifact creature. It counts as a wall. Pay 3. Mobile Fort gets +3/-1 until end of turn and can attack this turn as though it were not a wall. Play this ability only once each turn. All you need to do is to tap a creature and it'd become a vehicle. I don't see the flavor fail here. Like, yeah, this predates the vehicles. Or are you saying, like, this is just... There's no one controlling the mobile fort, hence it's a... Okay, I can see that. Why is the wall all of a sudden moving on its own? Who's driving this mobile fort? Whereas at least with the vehicles, you know, you tap a creature to activate Smuggler's Copter. We know who's actually in charge of that Smuggler's Copter. How do you fly this damn thing? Mobile fort is just moving on its own. Need the mobile fort retrain? Whatever. Okay, the other two otters say whenever you cast this card. That's not really a flavor fail, though. It's not I wouldn't call that a flavor fail. Combat damage? Huh? Okay, hold on. Defender wasn't around yet. Can't remember exactly when they made it. Yeah, I don't know either. I'm not a good Defender historian. Back in the day, old walls automatically couldn't attack. Yeah, this one can't attack either. Okay, Christopher B. Gatebreaker Ram. Oh, and I have super chats. Okay, I have to get this. I gotta get to them super chats. We got a green 2 generic. 2/2 sheep. Doesn't even look like a sheep. So what is the deal here? Dissonance with name and effect. Okay, it breaks gates. Gatebreaker Ram gets +1/+1 for each gate you control. So it gets stronger with the gates and doesn't blow anything up. As long as you control 2 or more gates, Gatebreaker Ram has vigilance and trample. If anything, it should just be like, when it enters the battlefield, destroy target gate. Complete flavor fail. Doesn't do what... You were meant to destroy the gates, not get powered up by them. Or you will get angry at them. I guess it could get +1/+1 for each gate the opponent controls. And also, I think enters the battlefield should destroy the gates. Alright, we got Station Disaster. Sauron the White is blue. We've seen this before. Sauron. Why is it? No, isn't it Saruman the White? So, how many of the white do we have here? Yeah, it's not Sauron, it's Saruman. Saruman the White is a blue card. Because he's a wizard. You're a wizard, Harry. Rot Boy. Pin to the earth. It doesn't get rid of flying. Okay. Yeah, the blue one generic enchant creature. Enchant creature gets -6 is -0. But it's pinned to the earth. Yeah, but even though you pin to the earth the damn thing, it can still be in the air, flying, and flying over you. You can't block this creature, because it technically has wings, for one reason or another. Alright, Castle is an enchantment. The Castle? Oh yeah, okay, so here's the Castle. Blue 3 generic. Untapped creatures you control get +0/+2. You would think that this would be some sort of wall of some sort. It even shows a wall here. And why would it even buff up the creatures? It should buff up you. It should be any damage that you get dealt. Do we have anything like that? Now that I think of it, walls should act like that. It should, or maybe not. Maybe the walls as they work as now it is. But yeah, they should, all walls should be creatures. This is acting like a wall, but is not a wall. You could be trapped in the air. I guess you could be trapped. What, you could be pinned down to a cloud? No, but it says pinned to earth. It does not say pinned to cloud. Mortal strength, like mortal hope, is so easily crushed. Always a bigger fish says pinned to the earth. Pick shows someone high off the ground. Are they? No, I think they're deep in the ground. Or maybe they are. Maybe this is the top end of the U going down. I don't know. It's hard to tell. Super chat from Zach. Thanks so much. Hey, man, I have 2 questions about my game last night that I played. Is that okay if I ask? You're better to ask right then and there. But yes, you could. Honestly, it's really off topic. I'll give you 1 question. If you really have a question off topic, you could just, like, text me somewhere. But yeah, you could ask. Okay, Scott, with your super chat. Blood-soaked champion. Is not that blood-soaked, you say? Can't block, but has 2 shields. Damn it, this is just becoming a repeat of the other Flavor Fail shows. Okay, we got a black 2/1 human warrior. Yes, it can't block, but it's got 2 shields. What are the shields for? This is just all offense? It looks like it's for defense, but really it's a weapon. It's all aggro. The aggro shields out there. Alright, Chandler is supposed to steal stuff. He just smashes. Chandler. Red for generic for a 3/3. Oh, is that the flavor to this guy? Destroy. So he's supposed to be a thief. But actually, what they're actually doing is just destroying stuff. Destroy target artifact creature. Alright, interesting. This is one that you really need to know the flavor for. The first super chat counts as 1 question. Yes, that's right. The first super chat counts as a question. Well, we got a lot of debate on pin to earth. All right, I think the pin to earth to you, so you can still fly. It's just a lot harder. What part of pin to... I imagine, like, if you have enough power, what, are you still in the air with this big pin on your back or something? You're just flying lower than usual? So weird. Yeah, Flavor Fail stream becoming a Flavor Fail. Or it's just like a repeat of the last one. I guess that means you guys never saw the last few Flavor Fail shows. Okay, Erland, the Vandal more like. Oh, you're talking about, like, this guy? Chandler being a Vandal? Or is that an actual card? The Vandal. No. Such card does not exist. Alright, moving on to Super Chats. Rot Boy! In the story, King Makar the Gold Cursed was cursed. Why would it be a May ability? True story. In the fable, like, they had no choice. Whatever they touched turned to gold, which makes me think it must be very, very difficult to eat anything. So black 2 generic for a 2/3 human, inspired. When King Makar the Gold Cursed, like, you're cursed. You have no choice. Becomes untapped, you may exile target creature. If you do, put a colorless artifact token named... Yeah, you may exile target creature. If you do, put a colorless artifact token named Gold onto the battlefield. It has sacked this artifact, add 1 mana of any color to your mana pool. I guess this would just self-implode your own board if you did that. Maybe it should have been... Whenever it becomes untapped, you have to exile target permanent other than King Makar. That would have been interesting. So you have to slowly turn all your lands into gold that turn into mana. That could have been a much more interesting card. Okay, we got Trip Fontaine. 3 visits. It's a great Flavor Fail if you haven't done it yet. The card has literally nothing to do with the number 3. Okay, we got a green 1 generic sorcery. Search your library for a forest card, put it onto the battlefield, then shuffle. Yeah, that has nothing to do with it. This was 1 visit. Where's my 3 visits? I should have 3 forests on the battlefield. Or 3 different lands on the battlefield. Or other people should get lands on the battlefield. Absolute that is a Flavor Fail. Those who love the woods only wish to spread its majesty. Alright, Zach is here with our questions. Okay, so I tried using Hinata and Crackle with power to win the game. However, I'm confused on how to use Crackle with power. This is a huge deviation. The 3 X's confused me and how to use it properly. Okay, so, I mean... So you pay red, and then the 3 X's, if you need to pay 3 of any 1 mana to target something once. That's how it works. So if you pay 5 mana total, you target 1 thing. If you pay 8 mana, then you're targeting 2 things. So Crackle with Power deals 5 times X damage to each of up to X targets. So you can, after you pay your first 3, you target 1 thing. Then you pay another 3 on top of that, you can target a second thing or the same thing. And it'll deal 5 times that. So if you pay 3, you'll deal 5 damage to 1 thing. If you pay another 3 addition, you can deal 5 damage to another thing. So what does the Hinata have to do with that? Hinata. And this thing, spells you cast cost 1 less to cast for each target. Oh god! Spells your opponent's cast cost 1 more. I do believe that you get 1... I think you get discounted just 1. You literally could pay 2 for your first, but I'm not sure. Anyone can help here? This is definitely requires a judge. Judge! Crackling with power here. Hinata makes it basically double X as long as you pick max targets. Is it double, or does it just alleviate 1 X? Because that's the way I'm reading this. So the first one costs 2 and the rest of them cost 3, but I'm not sure. Pretty sure it would only be 1 mana reduction. Yeah, that's how I'm interpreting this. So the very first one, so if I go Earthquake for 7, I only have to pay 6. XXRR? I don't know if it works like that. The judge screams for the need to know how many targets. If you pay target 2, target you pay 222 minus 2. That's a lot. For each different target, you get 1 off, but if they're all the same target, it's only 1 is discounted. All right, I'll go with that, with what Sand says. This is a good one for the Judging for the Win channel. Yeah, go check out Judging for the Win. That's a YouTube channel. They'll help you for sure. So at the very least, Hinata costs 1 less for each target. Oh, is that what Hinata says? Spells you cost 1 less to cast. Oh, yeah, okay, reading the card explains the card. So it's just, so it's one less if you target 1 thing, but it's 1 less for each target. So it'll be like double, it's just red, XX. Okay, we're done. We figured it out. So if you copy it, if you only target 1 thing, you only get 1 colorless less. But for each target that you target, then I think it'll be 1 less. But I'm not 100% sure because I'm not like a level 3 judge here. Not a level 3 judge. All right, back. Hope everyone learned something about Hinata and X spells. Good freak. Oh no, this is not a flavor fail. Okay, Erland. Island Sanctuary is the only card named after a basic land, but isn't part of its color. Oh yeah! Okay, so we have a white 1 generic enchantment. If you would draw a card during your draw step, instead you may skip that draw. If you do until your next turn, you can't be attacked except by creatures with flying and or island walk. It is Island Sanctuary. We have a picture of an island, but it is not a blue card. What a flavor fail. It is white. How dare they put island in such a card? I do have a flavor fail though. Cities that, well, you did. That was a good flavor. Oh no, you didn't name the last one. All right, Cityscape Leveler. Why? They're not leveling an actual city? 8 mana for an 8/8 Trampling Construct. When you cast a spell and whenever a Cityscape Leveler attacks, destroy up to 1 target non-land permanent. So it's not blowing up land. Its controller creates a tap Power Stone token. Is that the flavor fail? Because if we're destroying a city, I assume we're destroying land. Like, what are you going to call a city? Like, cities are lands, but it destroys non-lands. That is a flavor fail. Totally agree. Kind of strange. Vehicles can attack even after the creatures they crewed it die. Look at Smuggler's Copter, yeah. So, like, who is piloting it at that point? Yeah, okay, so you crew with a creature. You shoot the creature afterwards, but it's still crewed. It's still flying. How is it attacking? It's like, prepare for ramming speed. It's a kamikaze fighter now. The autopilot takes over. Isn't there a car? Hold on, where's the car? It's got that it must have that Tesla autopilot thing going on. Oh, I can't find it. There's some sort of, it's called Dragster. Yeah, it's a Dragster. Okay, we got Oval Chase Dragster. I guess this is a Tesla M, I don't know, 500 or something from the future. So if we kill the crude creature, I guess the Tesla autopilot will just take over from there. Good stuff. Just put the vehicle on max speed. From the street. Yeah, Streets of New Capenna. Or actually, no, this is not. This is from Kaladesh. They had cars in Kaladesh. They're very forward-thinking over there. The one ring deals damage to its wearer. Did you see what happened to Golem? It's exactly what happened to you. I don't think it's that unusual of a... I don't think that's much of a flavor fail. Okay, we got Voitech here. Thanks so much, Voitech. Personal one, Hero of Precinct 1. Precinct 1. I used this ability to make sacrificial tokens for Priest of Forgotten Gods. He was luring people to their death. Oh, so you... so we have Priest of Forgotten... Yeah, it's funny how we can combine these cards and all of a sudden, they don't make no sense. Okay, Priest of the Forgotten Gods. Sacrifice 2 other creatures. Any number of target players each lose 2 life. And sack a creature. You add double black and draw a card. But then we have Hero of Precinct 1. Whenever you cast a multicolored spell, create a 1/1 white human creature token. When the established order falters, what remains are ordinary people and their struggle to survive. Hold on, what is the fail here? I used his ability to make sacrificial tokens for Priest of Forgotten Gods. Ah, I see. Yeah, he's developing this sort of cult thing. Come to drink that punch. When the ring tempts you, lose 1 hair. Yeah, so let's go look at the One Ring. Let's look at Golem. Go on, no, let's look at Frodo. Where's a good look? Okay, here's some, like, hobbits, and then we look at Golem. Oh, sorry, this is Gollum. Gollum. Oh, I gotta look up Gollum. He's not Golem, he's Gollum. Gollum, right? Yeah. I just want to show you guys. Okay. Bear with me here. So the reason the ring doesn't, like, losing life, I think, is reasonable. Although maybe it shouldn't actually kill you. It should just bring you really close to death. Because this is your brain. And then this is your brain on the One Ring. This is what happens to you, you see? This is what happens when you're a nice, healthy-looking hobbit. You're doing great. You're eating food from the farm. You're eating your fresh produce. Then all of a sudden, you're corrupted by this piece of jewelry, and you're eating raw fish from a damn pond in the middle of a mountain. So, I think it's it's quite flavorful that, you know, the One Ring does corrupt you in some way. All right, hear that music? That means it's time to thank our sponsors. We're gonna don't change that dial though. We are gonna look at more flavor fails. And if you're talking about the One Ring, you need some of those One Rings or Orcish Bowmasters or Delighted Halflings. You can get them at FusionGamingOnline.com. They got your Lord of the Rings Tales of Middle-earth singles in stock, ready for your purchase. Get your credit cards, wallets, and everything else ready, and get 5% off all those purchases when you're using coupon code Nikachu at checkout. Supports the channel and supports FusionGamingOnline.com. We're also going to thank Mana Traders, the premier place for renting Magic cards online. Be an influence to turn the entire metagame upside down by playing with all these Lord of the Rings cards. It's quite the flavor fail that Orcish Bowmasters is like basically stronger than Sauron in these, in both Modern and Legacy. Then you can rent them, Orcish Bowmasters, using my Mana Traders link in the description below, or save 10% off your first 2 months using coupon code Nikachu_1YA. Alright, back to some good old flavor fails. Average MTG player moment. Okay, LN Chan Gaming. Arcane and Splice to Arcane are huge flavor fails. Arcane... What do you mean? Splice onto Arcane? Do you have any cards? You gotta give me card examples. I know what Splice to Arcane is as a mechanic, and I could randomly come up with a few of the cards, but I mean, you gotta give me card examples. This is a card show, people. It's a card show, for the most part. Ah, yes, treasure chest is not a treasure type artifact, but mimic is. Oh, we had that one before. But I can't look at, hold on, no, hold on. Treasure chest is an actual card. Oh yeah, it's not an art. No, so this is an artifact. Treasure chest is not a treasure type, but it's not treasure type. That's all it is. It's just an artifact. Nikachu don't have a Pikachu profile pic as Flavor Fell because I'm not a Pikachu. That's why. Okay, through the breach is Arcane. And then Splice onto Arcane. What was the Flavor Fail? Okay, Arcane and Splice to Arcane are huge flavor fails. As you cast an Arcane spell, you may reveal this card from your hand and pay its Splice cost. If you do, add this card's effect to that spell. I don't understand the flavor fail. Like, I don't get it. Maybe I just don't know what Arcane is. You gotta be a little bit more specific how these things are flavor fails. Okay, moving on. Let's go with... do I have another super chat here? Oh, we have Spectral Maniac with the super chat. Mystic Remora was named and designed based on the old meaning of Remora. Okay, now I know I don't think I could do this show again. This is basically a repeat of episodes 1 and 2. Okay, meaning of Remora. An obstacle, hindrance of obstruction. The artist didn't know and drew a fish. Yeah, I know. So, hold on. The real Remora... I need to look up Remora... Hindrance and obstruction. Like, yeah, if you look up Remora on, like, Google, you just get these fish-looking things. And I didn't, like, last time we got this card, I didn't know how to look up hindrance and obstruction. Remora obstruction. I don't know how to get the actual Remora. Or Mystic Remora. Oh, I guess it's like, it's not a thing, right? Yeah, obstacle, hindrance, obstruction. Oh, yeah, I get it, okay. So it's just not physically something you should be looking for. So they basically did what I did. Did Google exist back then? Well, Yahoo existed back then. So they probably Yahoo'd it up, saw a bunch of fish, and boom, we got a Mystic Remora. Hey, look, maybe there is an obstruction in front of it. There's a big coral reef that it can't get through. You know, maybe we shouldn't judge it so quickly. Okay, LN Chan Gaming says, it's a flavor fail because it's supposed to be a warped magic from the spirits of Kamigawa to attack the humans in the mortal realm and turn them into Zubarus. Splice and Arcane don't show any of that. Alright, thank you very much for the explanation. I'd also just say, there's no damn way in hell I would ever figure that out on my own without the explanation. Yahoo and Google were in their infancies. Hey, Yahoo was pretty big. Hold on, yeah, there's also Netscape back then. Was that a search engine, or was that just a browser? We didn't have nothing back then. Alright, always a bigger fish. Blitz, Wing, Adaptive, Adaptive Assailant. Why is it a coin flip when Eowyn gets to choose her buff? So the other one is Adaptive Assailant. Or is this it? Oh, it's the other side is the Adaptive Assailant. Ah, I get it, okay. Okay, so why is it a coin flip when Eowyn gets to choose her buff? More than meets the eye. You may cast this card for a black and 3 generic. At the beginning of your end step, target opponent loses life equal to the life lost. So the life that player lost this turn. If no life is lost this way, convert Blitzwing. We have the Adaptive Assailant. It's a vehicle, a 3/5, living metal. As long as it's your turn, this vehicle is also a creature. At the beginning of combat on your turn, choose flying or indestructible at random. Oh, sorry, you flip a coin. Blitzwing gains that ability until end of turn. When Blitzwing deals combat damage to a player, convert it. Why is this a flavor fail? Why is it a coin flip when Eowyn gets to choose her buff? Who's Eowyn? I don't know. Okay, well, anyway, I don't know the lore here. So, I'm just going to trust that this is a flavor fail. We did Pen to Earth Slavin. Thank you very much for suggesting it. Okay, so it's a coin flip because in the show, Blitzwing has multiple personalities that argue for control. Ah. So like basically a good angel and a bad angel on your shoulders. You're going to do this. No, you're not going to do this. Be tempted. Okay, West Coast Games. Nikachu. RX Methes. Slumbering Isle is not an island, but island fish. So we do have island fish in existence. We have a blue-green 2 generic 12/12 Kraken. It's called a Slumbering Isle. Does it ever become an island? It does tap for mana, but it's technically not an island. But they do what? They errated this one. The fish, Jasconius. So it used to be summon island fish, and they just changed it to fish. It's now a fish. So they fixed it. This would be a fun one to play with that R&D card that says you have to play the cards as they read. You just fetch this thing into play. That's broken. Just go like fetch this thing with a Misty Rainforest or something. It's GG. The biggest flavor fail of them all is the cards themselves. I mean, seriously, they all taste like cardstock and ink. It's disgusting. You know what's a weird thing? In Magic, we pretend that we are... I think Yu-Gi-Oh's got it right. Like, in the Yu-Gi-Oh show, they know they're playing with cards. They got, like, a deck of cards. Why couldn't Magic just do the same thing? We're just pretending that, you know, the cards don't exist. Anyway, I actually think it's easier to resonate with the game when you take it Yu-Gi-Oh style. They got their deck of cards, and they summon the monsters like that. The monsters are in the cards. It sounds silly, but I think it works. Next super chat, Station Disaster. Thanks so much for the super chat. Ornithopter can wield equipment, I think. Ornithopter. Like sort of, oh! That's right. It's like a paper airplane when you look at it. I like that one. This thing is like light as it's basically a paper airplane, light as a feather. But still, you give it like a huge... Well, I wouldn't say Colossus Hammer. You can't exactly give it a Colossus Hammer. Then that will pin it to the earth. But you can give it all sorts of other swords and equipment. Tape onto it. Yeah, but like it's going to be a big paperweight. It's going to weigh it down. I like that flavor fail. No way flavor is MTG's trademark. Has no hand. That's also true. Yeah, the Ornithopter has no hands either. How does it wield anything? It's literally a gliding thing. Once a year, the skies over Paliano fill with the flying machines of those who hope to be taken on as pupils by the artificer Muzio. Yeah, whatever. Drown in the lock and target merfolk. Also, oh yeah, I like that one. Also plank. Yeah, walk the plank and kill flying creatures. I didn't think, you know, I mentioned that one in the past, but I didn't think about the flying creatures. Drown the lock. I don't know why any of the aquatic creatures would drown here. But yeah, it could destroy, even island walkers. And then we have walk the plank. I guess it's assumed that the flying creature is tied up, as you show in the picture, but it's still a little bit bizarre. The flying creature, generally speaking, should just fly away. All right, walk the plank. All right, goodbye. So long. The power of flying has commenced. We also did that one, Slavin. You gotta go deep, people. We need more niche flavor fails, because everyone's mentioning like the ones that we've seen a million times. Okay, Rob Boy. Oh, here's the real flavor fails. Black Lotus is not a black card. It could have at least been a black artifact, even though such a thing didn't exist at the time. If they reprinted it today, would that be the case? Not a black card. Even though black in the name. Day of Judgment even destroys good characters. Let's look at that flavor text of Day of Judgment. Always a bigger fish here with some new, fresh... Can we get one with a Oracle text? We got something! I've seen planes leveled and all life rendered to dust. It brought no pleasure even to the heart of, to a heart as dark as mine. But I think this would still kill good people. I don't think it was meant to just destroy bad people. It's the day of judgment. Toads, frozen shade, old art. He's missed, but no flying. Frozen shade. Old art. Did we do this one before? Yeah, it looks like he's a genie that's flying in the air, but no flying. That's a flavor fail. I like it. Okay, Urza's workshop is 2,000 times cheaper than Mishra's. Talk about being the poor brother. Urza's workshop. Versus Mishra's workshop. Okay, Urza's workshop just adds a generic. Metalcraft, tap, add a generic for each Urza land you control. Oh, God! Activate only if you control 3 or more artifacts. Well, that's hard to pull off. What are we... So basically, they're trying to pump up Urza lands. Do we really need that? Well, all I would say is Mishra makes a better factory. More profit margin in that factory. You could also look at it another way. Or you could look at it as Urza's poor, or Mishra is not paying their workers very much. Yeah, Urza's workshop, 2,000 times cheaper. But this is just the leftover profit after all the expenses. Mishra's workshop could have been working off of downright, you know, just basically paying penny labor. Okay, Zanzi with Hyal... What is this? Okay, Hyalopter... Hope this is enough. Heart fail. Drew a lemur, not a ghost. Oh, yeah, it was the lemur. Okay, hold on. Can we find this now? Ugh. Google is just failing us. So bad. Okay, what can... It's still... Even when I look up lemur ghost, it still pops up these damn lemurs. Are we really gonna blame the artists? It was back in 2007. Can't say there was no Google back then. There was definitely Google. Ah, this is cool. This is really cute. You got Cruel Julian over here in a Magic the Gathering card. The dude in Ancestral Recall recalls his present rather than his past. Is that true? Which one? I assume the old one. Recalls his present. It's hard to tell. I guess so. Like, the guy is dressed in like the Aztec, and like we see an Aztec background. You know what? I agree. That is a flavor fail. Unless that was just like the past as of like 10 years ago, which isn't very far away. All right, we got some super chats here. Let's look at Rot Boy. Thanks so much, Rot Boy. Oh no, we saw Rot Boy. Sorry, Station Disaster. Altar made of bones isn't a permanent. Altar. Is it Altar of Bones? Oops. This card doesn't exist. Of Bones. Ward of Bones? Well, enchant creature. Casting of Bones? Is that what you wanted? Because I have no idea. The bones, they be crumbling. If enchanted creature is put into the graveyard, draw 3 cards. I don't think this is what you want. The altar. Oh, Altar of Bone. Thank you so much, Spectral Maniac. permanent. It's an artifact. What do? Oh, so oh, sorry, this one. How many altars do we have? No, oh, so one was altar of Baal. This one's the altar of bone. All right, there we go. The altar, which is a physical thing, is not actually a permanent. Okay, we got it. We found it. You guys have misspelled all the cards so badly today. I can't find any of your cards. I'll admit that a lot of cards sound like each other. I'll always put a random the or an of in the name of a lot of cards just because I just assume that's how it is. Okay, Rut Boy, thank you very much for the super chat. Flavor Judge. Should get an honorary mention. Flavor Judge. Why, is it a flavor fail? Okay, we got a white 1 generic 2/2 Bird Advisor. This guy's judging all of you. Tap, choose target spell or ability that targets a permanent or you control. Then ask a person outside the game if the story of what will happen makes sense. If they say no, sacrifice Flavor Judge and counter that spell or ability. I like that. Altar of Bone. Should it really be a sorcery or should it be a permanent? We mentioned Mr. Cremora. I'm just gonna repeat again. Like, you gotta go deeper. You can't go with any of the obvious flavor fails because we've done it like already for several shows. Bread, Redwood Tree Folk. Because an underwater redwood tree punching a merfolk. Okay, we got a green 4 generic, 3/4. And would you strip the bark from a tree folk? Elvish expression meaning are you crazy? Oh, I like that. I like the expression. Because an underwater redwood tree punching a merfolk. Is this underwater? Like, I see we got the merfolk here, but I can't tell if this is underwater or over. Okay, yeah, it has to be underwater because this is a legless merfolk. You know what's a flavor fail? Merfolk without legs attacking on land. That is not happening. He basically can't do it. Can hold his breath, I guess. Can hold his breath. How do you punch underwater? It's so slow. And certainly the fish creatures will be a lot faster to basically dodge. Lord of Atlantis, Judge Promo has legs, but Flavor Text 6th edition says they have no legs. Oh, okay, hold on, let's look at that. Lord of Atlantis. Well, at the time, you know, they decided to give future lords... Where's the 6th edition one? Here we go. We have no legs, the warrior spat, for we have finished running. Vidalian folktale. But somewhere deep in the future, they decided to give the Lord of Atlantis some legs. Here we go. Got some legs. Remember, it's not the Lord of Atlantis. It's not a legendary creature. There are many different Lords of Atlantis. You punch underwater by swirling upwards with a backhand. Magus of the Bargain would know better than me. Okay, not such a fail, just weird. Krark as a card is the thumbless. However, it's established he is thumbless in Krark's other thumb, which is an uncard, and the universe isn't part of the story. Just weird that Krark as... Hold on, let's look. Krark. Let's look at Krark the creature. Is there a Krark thumbless card? Okay, the thumbless, because he's gambled both of them away. I'm just assuming there are no... But what the hell is that? 1, 2, 3, 4. Oh, maybe that doesn't show his actual thumb. But what is this? Krark is 1 thumb less. He's missing 1 thumb? Well, according to these cards, we have Krark's other thumb. That's a flavor fail. Or maybe they need to update Krark to have no thumbs, period. So here's Krark's thumb. There's Krark's other thumb. It looks like his big toe, to be honest. Anyway. You people crack me up. Yeah, the thumb war. It's funny, this card represents good luck. But it wasn't really lucky for Krark, because he lost his thumb. Okay, 40k lore here. Old One-Eye doesn't have regenerate. Why are wizards so scared of regenerate? Oh, because it's like, it's an absolute rules disaster trying to teach someone regenerate is awful. Although it'd be just easy to just put regenerate here. But how often do they put regenerate on cards these days? Not often. I think it's being... I don't know if it's an evergreen mechanic anymore. It's just a complete hassle to teach people. Green 5 generic, 6/6, Tyrannid. Like, if someone getting into the game through 40k read regenerate, they'd probably just quit on the spot. Trample, other creatures you control have trample. When old One Eye enters the battlefield, create 5/5 green Tyrannid creature token, has fast healing. Oh, they called it fast healing instead. At the beginning of your pre-combat main phase, you may discard 2 cards. If you do, return old One Eye from your graveyard to your hand. So you're saying is this card spiritually should have regenerate, but they decided to give it this weird discard 2 cards and bring it back from the dead instead. Alright, well, we got a super chat from Platonic Liquid. Shalub, child of Ungoliant. These names, I'm telling you. Okay, the food can get up and walk around just fine. Okay, green, black, 4 generic for the 8/8 spider demon from Lord of the Rings. Death touch, ward 2. Other spiders you control have death touch and ward 2. Whenever another creature dealt damage this turn by a spider you control dies, create a token that's a copy of that creature, except it's a food artifact. With pay 2, tap, sacrifice this artifact, you gain 3 life and it loses all other card types. But like, isn't it just not a creature anymore? Because it loses all the other card types. So it just basically is an artifact. It's like a dead body on the battlefield. So actually, I don't think it gets up and walks around just fine. If I understand correctly. Because it loses all other card types, so it's no longer a creature. Which means it's like an 8/8 artifact with, like, no creature type. I think maybe it's an 8/8 artifact that can attack, but I'm assuming that's how it works. Anyone can verify this for me? Because they're dead. It still have the creature types, but not the creature card type. Oh, so it's like, no, but yeah, so it's like, it's basically a dead, like, squirrel or whatever. Yeah, it's just food. Oh, that's right, unless it's a vehicle. Now that is weird. The spider eating a vehicle is really bizarre. Is that how it works? Whenever a spider dealt damage this turn by, whenever another creature dealt damage this turn by a spider you control dies, create a token that's a copy of that. So the spider is eating a car. Now that is a flavor fail. Now that I think about it. So we saved the flavor fail. It can also eat, like, enchantments that were turned into creatures and other artifacts that were turned into the creatures. The spider will eat anything in Mordor. They're not very picky with their food. Yeah, that spider just ate my unlicensed hearse. Damn, it's like a termite all of a sudden. Well, termites eat wood, whatever. There's got to be some sort of bug that eats metal out there. Regenerate is good, I swear. My skeleton deck says so. Oh, the skeleton players coming up. Rising up to defend, regenerate. Okay, Darthamed. Matsu Tribe Decoy. Matsu. Should be an archer. Looks like an archer. Thran weaponry is terrible weaponry. Oh, hold on, so we're going to start off with a Matsu Tribe Decoy. Yeah, this is totally an archer. Snakes with arms is a bit weird to me. What else do you have for us, Darth Med? Thran weaponry is terrible weaponry. Well, don't insult the Thran's engineers. 4 mana. Echo, you may choose not to untap Thran weaponry during your untap step. Pay 2, tap all creatures, get +2/+2 as long as Thran weaponry remains tapped. Okay. Alright there. That Thran weaponry pretty much sucks. Yeah, snake with legs. All these, the Kamigawa cards are just bizarre. They're really bizarre. There's too many humanoid features on a snake. Walking skyscraper doesn't reach when the comparable Titan of industry does. Walking skyscraper by Christopher B. Yeah, it's a bit weird. I don't know what is the clause for giving something reach. I guess it just can't do anything about it. Like, look, it doesn't even have any arms. By the way, what the hell is this thing? I guess it is exactly what it says. It's a walking skyscraper. It's like Howl's Moving Castle. The Untrained Ear. OG Gerard Capuchin was meant to be a super soldier crafted through generations of Urza's ethically bleak schemes. It's like Sephiroth. His first card turned out to be some overcosted guy with no keyword combat abilities. Yeah, 5 mana for a 3/4. At the beginning of your upkeep, gain 1 life for each card in target opponent's hand. You can tap creatures. Can only activate it when it's tapped and attacking. What a poor use of Sephiroth. Is that the Parhelion in the background of Walking Skyscraper? I can't tell, to be honest. Can't tell. Have no idea. Okay, hold on. Whirlpool. Poor Will doesn't have flying. It's a bird. Shown flying in the art, and it doesn't fly. Oh yeah, we've... I've seen this one before. It's a cute picture. Very, very cute. For some reason, doesn't fly. It's been clipped. It's basically a pet now. It should just be called Clipped Wings. Okay, what do we got? MTG Live. Gandalf the Grey isn't black or white. Yeah, I know. It should be that. That would be the real gray. Walk the Plank shouldn't kill all non-merfolk. Yes, we've gone through that one. Okay, Elven Fortress is not a land from Mark Zilla. Okay, we got a green enchantment. Green 1 generic. Target blocking creature gets +0/+1 until end of turn. Yeah, it's an enchantment. By today, they would make this a land. This would be like, enters the battlefield tapped unless you already control a forest, and then you get this ability attached to it. And it wouldn't be bad. Actually, it probably would be bad. I mean, it's totally upside if you have nothing else to put in your deck. Pillage. You don't actually gain anything. Ooh. Oh, I like that. The word pillage is to, like, you know, basically rummage through and take something. In this case, or does it have several meanings? Pillage meaning. I need to know the meaning to pillage. We got rob a place using violence, usually in wartime. The action of pillaging a place or property in wartime. That is a flavor fail. That is a huge flavor fail. All right. It doesn't... You should really take the land. Or take the artifact, if anything. Instead, we're just blowing it up. Some people just want to watch the world burn. Alright, we still have one more super chat before the day is done. We've got Station Disaster. Sleep with the Fishes takes out Fishes 2. Blue 2 generic. Enchant creature. When Sleep with the Fishes enters the battlefield, tap enchant creature, and you control... Oh, hold on, sorry. And you create a 1/1 blue fish creature token with this creature can't be blocked. Enchanted creature doesn't untap during its controller's untap step. Oh yeah, they're technically sleep. You know what? Also, I think this Sleep with the Fishes is supposed to imply that you killed someone. This doesn't really... In this case, you're just like temporarily bound up. I think it's a double flavor fail. So you can sleep. You can make the fish go to sleep, and also it's not actually killing the person that you're putting to sleep. All right, well that's it. All right, that's it for today. Thank you very much for being a part of today's Flavor Fail show. As usual, you want to be here Monday to Friday, 11 o'clock a.m. Central Standard Time to be part of the show. Thank you very much to all my supporters, all the members on YouTube and the patrons on Patreon, and also especially the people who super chat to be part of the show. And we got to thank everyone who's here in the morning. People like Argentina, Erlen, Jess, Darth Med. We've got, or Darthamed. Ryan, Christopher B, Rob Boy, Good Freak, Mark Silva, Jaded, Erlin, Toads, Slavin. We got Bread, Platonic Liquid, always a bigger fish. We got LNChan Gaming, Donkey Son, Zanzi, Ryan, Mr. Deadhead, Anna. Because as usual, my coffee crew, you guys are the show. So as usual, keep brewing up them coffees. We'll keep brewing up the magic. Take care of yourselves, and I will see you at the next cup.